Well, welcome to Woodcraft Spokane. I'm Joel.
And I'm Steve. How are you folks today?
We are teaming up together today to talk about Father's Day gift ideas. And so we've got a few products out here to discuss. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, folks, we're in for a treat today because many of you might not recognize Joel, but I talk to him all the time. Joel's usually behind the scenes, so it's good to get him out in front of the camera, and we're hoping that we may be able to help you with some last-minute shopping here. So a couple of the things that we wanted to touch on are just products that are kind of our favorite things. Above and beyond just coming in and getting a gift card, and we have that available to us too. We are opening our classroom July 1st. So that's kind of a neat gift idea if you're looking for something for somebody that you just don't know what to get them. We have a huge range of classes that we offer here, and the nice thing about this staff is we all been here and doing this long enough. We may be able to give you a suggestion as to what your particular loved one or whatever is looking for in a class. So that's always a good idea, and something kind of special and different is one of our classes. Joel and I are both instructors here, and we love doing the teaching end of this. We got a brand new shop here with brand new tools, so we're both excited to get that started.
We are. Well, without further ado, are any of these items you want to start off with?
Well, one of the things that, if we're starting on the smaller end in the stocking stuffer range, I'll call it, I know I can always use a new tape. And it seems like 4 or 5 times a year I replace my tapes. They get beat up, they get dropped, the hooks get bent on them. One of the tapes that I've been using for probably the last 8-9 years is the Fast Cap Lefty Righty. What I like about this tape is it's exactly what it sounds like. You've got measurements on both sides, so it doesn't matter if you're coming from this side or this side, you're able to read this tape. And in this case, let's see how Joel's measuring up today.
Perfect.
About normal, so we're good.
Above normal.
Above normal.
Above normal.
Good.
I've had my coffee, so I'm
a tape measure is always good.
Yeah, excellent. Let's talk about the board over here. I'm going to come around here. Some of the products that we have, we've got some of the knife kits. The Damascus retractable blade is a kind of a great gift idea for Dad. You pick out his scales for that, and then you can make that. We have some of the Camulus ideas. The machete, which is, yes, I said machete, because that's, I believe, how you're supposed to say it, machete. Can you say the machete?
No? Machete.
Oh, okay, whatever. He's not playing. All right, moving along. We have other knife kits. We actually use this one when we're teaching the classes that he mentioned earlier. Down in the bottom, we have some of the ideas of some of the kitchen knife kits. And while showing that, let's go ahead and talk about the Blade Pro. This is a new product out by System 3. It's an epoxy to glue your knife scales to your knife. Some of the neat things about this is it has a 45-minute work time. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. And one of the things I like about it is it's heat temperature tolerant up to 160 degrees. Why does that matter? Well, sometimes you go ahead and accidentally you might take one of your kitchen knives and put it in the dishwasher. Depending on what your water heater is set at, this epoxy won't break down until it exceeds 160 degrees. But if your water heater is above 160 degrees, you might want to turn that down. Because what do we always say, Steve? Safety first, Joel. Safety first. Excellent. The last thing I'd like to talk about here, which is a great gift idea, is the camping hatchet. It comes with its own leather sheath. They've been making this axe. This is a bison. It's made in Germany. They've been making that since 1879. It's hand-forged steel, and the hilt of this axe, or hatchet, I should say hatchet, is made of hickory. Anything else you want to add?
Just at Christmas time, we had a gentleman that came in that's a timber framer. And this guy knew his axes and hatchets, and he said this particular brand is one of the leading brands out there as far as holding an edge, being resharpenable, and it being a fairly new product to us here. It was nice to have some customer feedback on a guy that uses this particular brand every day and how he makes a living. So
Absolutely,
we can
Steve.
sell it with confidence, Joel.
Perfect, Steve. Anything else you want to talk about? Well, of course, there's more to talk about, but I'm turning it over to you now.
Joel, one of the things that I brought back here was Starrett has been making marking and measuring tools forever. These are one of the tools that they're a quality tool. It's one of those that you cry once, but you only buy once. It's a tool that gets handed down. The Starretts that I have in my shop, my grandfather had, who gave to my dad, who gave to me, and I'll pass them on to one of the granddaughters that take up woodworking. The thing I'll tell you about these tools is they haven't changed much over the years, but you can't get a more accurate and quality square than this. So if you're looking for something for Dad and you want to update his marking and measuring above and beyond a tape or with a tape, these Starrett squares, they're really hard to beat. They come in various sizes, configurations. We have a pretty good selection in right now. Love to show them to you.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to talk about two items together. We're going to talk about the pressure pot, and we're going to talk about the Clear Slow by Alumilite. These two products go really well together. We've sold a lot of these pressure pots. I own one myself. This video that we're doing right now is going up on YouTube later, and we also have some other videos up on YouTube using the pressure pot that I purchased that we went ahead and filmed several videos on casting. This pressure pot with this Clear Slow, the Clear Slow goes into the pressure pot into a mold and asks for about 40 psi. Now, that'll take about a couple hours before you can go ahead and level off the air and the pressure pot and take it out. This pressure pot is rated for 60 psi. It's 5 gallon. It's made by California Air Tools. It's exclusively for Woodcraft at this time. It also has a safety feature on it that if you happen to get up above 80 psi, for example, it will bleed that air off of it so that there's no accidents can happen. The Clear Slow is a phenomenal product. It's done by weight, so we'll need a scale for that. Also, another great idea for Dad is a scale for that. We have plenty of colors, dyes, whatever you could possibly dream of, we have here in the store. It's a great product. I love it. It's clear. Anything you want to add to that, Steve?
Is it food safe?
You know, Steve, I don't think so, but I don't know for sure. I'm probably not going to eat it or chew on it.
No, but I was wondering,
lick it.
could you can in it or something like that?
Can in it? How so?
Like, stewed tomatoes,
Oh,
fish.
the pressure pot.
Yes.
I see. No, Steve, it's not that kind. That would be on a burner. We're not burning this. We don't put this on
Okay.
a stove, Steve.
On a serious note, though, Joel, you and I are out on the floor every day, and it seems like the resin and pressure pot stuff is probably one of the hottest items out, right?
It absolutely
It's
is. One of the
amazing
hottest
to
items.
me.
We have a hard time keeping it in because as soon as we get it in, it flies out.
It seems like everyone's casting something.
But there's
these days.
so much you can do with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
The resins alone, we've got several different kinds of resins that would also make great gift ideas for Dad. But for the pressure pot resins, we've got colors, we've got dyes, we've got sky's the limit, we've got glitter. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've got classes and videos
We've got
too,
classes, and we've got upcoming videos for our YouTube channel dealing with some of these new products that you can tune into later.
I'm going to bring in another one of those tools when you just don't know what to get, Dad. Everybody's got drill bits. These right now happen to be one of our featured items in our tab. So you say, well, I just don't know what to get, Dad. Trust me, he can always use drill bits. This is a great buy right now. It's a 100-piece assortment. It is brad pointed, so if you're looking for something and you want something more personalized, come in and grab a box of these bits. I guarantee he's not going to say, "Oh, I've got all these," because if he does, sooner or later he's going to break one or lose one. So this is a great gift for that.
It is a great gift, and it comes in a steel box, which is nice. Some of the other stuff you can buy on the market comes in a plastic box, which if you drop it on the ground, it shatters. You've got bits flying everywhere, and that would be unsafe, wouldn't it?
It would. And
Safety
Joel, one of the
first.
things I want to add to it, this is a new company to Woodcraft. I think we got them in right around Christmas time or something like that. I now started to carry these in my jump bags. I own a cabinet shop here in town, and we carry drivers and countersinks and that. I've been using this Montana stuff now for about 6 months and have had good results with it. They now bring this out in a 48-piece kit. It's something that's new to Woodcraft. The quality of the Montana stuff is good. I would recommend this to anyone. Again, if you're looking for something for Dad that comes in a kit form and is reasonably priced, come in and take a look at this Montana stuff.
Good stuff, Steve. All right, so let's go ahead, and we have pen kit starter sets. I happened to grab 2 of them out of the 3 that we have on the floor. We've got the cigar style and the slimline style. The slimline style is the style that we teach in the classroom. We do that on purpose because what you're essentially doing is turning the wood for this pin down to a veneer. Once you learn how to do that in the class, there's nothing that you can't do with our pin kits. There is the cigar pin kit, the slimline pin kit, and do you know what the other one is, Steve? You're absolutely correct, Steve.
A Euro?
No, it would be the Wall Street 2, our floor manager's favorite pin kit. Store manager, general manager.
It should be a Euro, Joel.
It should be a Euro, but it's not, unless it's not. So we have that. I'm going to add one more thing here. Well, Steve, we're going to talk about the Poly Ag blanks. These are new. I've turned a pen for Steve using one of these, and what did you think?
It was gorgeous, Joel. It's like one of my prized possessions.
Why is it gorgeous? Well, unlike a wooden blank or a acrylic blank, this is a stone blank. It's 85% pulverized stone put into a pattern and set in 15% acrylic. That allows you to turn this blank using carbide tools or your traditional tools, as long as they're sharp. That's the key. Just go easy. My advice is, if you get these, they're really great. Drill slow and turn slow, and they will be beautiful. And just polish them up with some micro mesh from 1,500 to 12,000, and it will be an eye stopper for Dad.
The pen Joel turned for me is just absolutely gorgeous. I get a lot of compliments on it. Thanks, Joel. In fact, I have one of Joel's limited edition duck calls, and now one of his pens.
And I have nothing from you.
Joel,
but we'll talk about that later.
You get my wisdom all the time.
Your wisdom. Would you like to talk about these next? You've been waiting for these for a long time.
Joel absolutely made my day with these today. And you said, what are they? Well, a while ago, Woodcraft apparently decided to change vendors quick, and we couldn't get them. What these little slices of heaven are these are the erasers that we can take our oscillating spindle sanders, our overhead drum sanders, and we use this to clean our paper. These things will absolutely extend the life of your paper. We now have them back. For the last 5 months, we've been telling people, sorry, Woodcraft discontinued them. We are letting you know they are back, and we have them.
Yes, we do.
And I'm excited about them because these are a great way to extend the paper on your machines, because let's face it, they don't give that paper away.
I've got a neat little trick. This is new to the store. I think it's pretty darn cool. It's a Rikon. It's a 2-year warranty. It is a sander, polisher. Yeah. It is cordless. It is cordless. So, comes with its own charger base. This is really cool because the pads come off, and you've got a hook and loop on this end, and you've got 5 speeds. One of the neat things about this, which I will also talk next about, if you don't mind, is the Sandmaster by Robert Sorby, which is a really neat thing. This one is manual, so the turning of the lathe, the turning of your project, when you put this on at an angle, it will spin. We'll get into this. But this one, right there, what can you use this for? Well, this is kind of like a multi-master with a sander buffer. I can use this on my wood turnings. I can use this, you know what I use this on at home? Check this out. So a lot of vehicles have a acrylic cover over their headlights. Those get dull after a while. Hitting them with some moist micro mesh, putting it on here, doing circles around it, brought it back to crystal clear perfect. This is a neat little unit. It retails for about $99.99, $100. Yeah. Really neat. Rechargeable. The battery pops off. 2-year warranty. Comes with some extra pieces here. It's really worth a look.
It's something that I could see again carrying in our jump bags. So when we're out installing and just need that little corner sanded or something to make it fit, that we would have it. It looks to me like maybe the paper from the Sorby would be
absolutely, and that was why I wanted to kind of talk about this.
Well, then don't let me steal your thunder.
Let me just continue.
Go.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and do it. I own this myself. It's fantastic. You can get the right pitch that you want, lock it into place, hook and loop also, just like the cordless. It comes with multiple grits of sandpaper. That's perfect. Sticks on the back. And you just simply turn on your project, if it's a bowl, if it's an urn, if it's a hollow form of any kind, and you just come in and this will free spin as it's spinning in the opposite direction, sanding everything that you need. These sandpapers, like my colleague here was mentioning, will also work on the cordless Rikon as well. And we also sell the micro mesh in the same size, so you can do all of that as well.
So no cutting, no nothing. Just come in and grab a pack.
Grab it, stick it on.
Well, Joel, when people come into Woodcraft, and one of the ways to identify the employee right away would be these little aprons right here. For a long time, these were an endangered species. Woodcraft had put them in an ad, and like everything, the supply chain was a little slow on them. People were waiting to get them. We now have them back in stock. These aprons here are, over a year old, Joel, and they seem to be holding up really well.
Well over a year.
So that's one of the keys to identifying your Woodcraft employee is will be the ones in these 13-pocket apron or 16-pocket aprons.
They're quite a hot commodity. Everybody wants one. So we have a lot of them. So come in and grab yours.
Joel, can I touch on this tanning bed? I mean, this light.
Please
and the reason I call it a tanning bed, when this thing's at full charge and at its high speed, it looks like a tanning bed when it's lit up. Joel actually purchased these, talked to me about them, and I said, man, I am so tired of using our cell phones when we're in the middle of a cabinet we do a lot of new hinges and drawer slides, and you're up inside someone's cabinet trying to get the screws started and stuff. We got our little cell phone flashlights up there looking. So we've been using one of these for a couple weeks. I love it. It's multi-positional. In fact, that there's a tripod here. It can be laid flat. And the other thing I like about it is there's magnets here. This would be perfect to throw in your car, your camper, your RV, your tent, anywhere. And the batteries, we charge it off a USB cord. So it's quick, it's easy. For us, I can plug it in between job sites, and I've always got a charge on them. And this light will not leave you in the dark at all.
Now,
Did you get that?
Yeah, I got that. Wonderful, if I might add.
Yes.
I bought it for, at our property, we lose power a lot. So, and I have 3 levels. The basement, we'll scratch that off. So main level, upper level. followed by a staircase that goes up. This is really handy. I stick it on the side of the fridge. If power goes out and it's dark, I go ahead and set this up. It's not one setting and that's it. You've got a plus or minus on it that you can hit, so you can make it lighter or less. But this will literally light up one whole floor and the staircase going up to the second floor. And I just need one. I was thinking I would get several for the house. No need. One does the whole thing for emergency purposes, as well as, this would work really well, positioning this on my saw stop, shining over to my lathe. But I'm using it for emergency purposes.
Joel, as good of friends as we are, on these multiple power outages, if you just pay your bill, they won't cut you off.
Nice one. Nice one. All right. Well, I added to yours. I'm going to do my own now, so you can step back. Let's see, which will we talk about? No, I'll do mine. This is a neat item. This is the Trends. It is not an N95. It is an N100 respirator. I got this for the shop, but folks, what I used it for? Here in Spokane, we have 5 seasons. Can you name those 5 seasons?
Fire season is
Fire
one.
season, also called smoke season. Thank you, Steve. That's
Thanks,
correct.
Joel.
Smoke season, winter, spring, summer, fall, and smoke season.
Should be a song.
I'll work on that for the next video. One of the neat things about this is it's light. It seals really well. Last year at the height of our smoke season, and when I say the height of it, you couldn't hardly see. Everything was kind of a hue of a yellow.
Well, we closed the store
We closed
early
the
one
store
day.
because we couldn't breathe. It was rolling in the door. So I bought this for my property. I still have to water the grass. I still have to water the garden. So I put this on. I was so surprised. I couldn't smell any smoke through this, number one. And number two, the other surprise was there was no warm air. There was no hot air. Nothing was fogging up my glasses. The more that I worked out in this to get down to the garden and hoof it back up the hill, the more the cold air came through. So in simply breathing, it brings in almost like an air-conditioned air, but no hot air. I don't know how they do it, but I don't have that same experience with a lot of the other respirators that are out on the market. They're hot, they're sweaty, not this one. So I don't know how they did it differently, but highly recommend the Trends Air Stealth. It's an N100 safety respirator, and check it out.
Joel, do we have time for a quick safety thing here?
We really don't, Steve.
Well, we're going to do it. We always worry about eye protection in the shop. We always worry about ear protection. But yet we're only issued one set of lungs. In speaking in I statements, I'm not as good and diligent as I should be about wearing a mask in my shop when I'm sanding or something like that. And it sounds like that this would kind of meet that need. Because a lot of times the reason I think we don't wear something is it's not comfortable or it's inconvenient. So this is what product that I'm going to try and see if I can't get a little bit more diligent about wearing it. So that's my safety tip of the demo, Joe, because what do we always say?
Safety first.
Yes, we do.
Perfect.
So one of the things that I asked about about a year ago when my family said, hey, what do you want? We don't know what to buy you because you got a cabinet shop full of tools. I said, I'd like to update my nailers, and I want to start with the little Grex 23 gauge. And so that's what they got me. These things, again, it's one of those cry once, buy once, because you'll look at the price tag and go, man, that's a lot of money. I'm telling you, this is the Cadillac of nailers. I don't own stock in this company. They're not giving me anything for promoting this. I'm just telling you, if you're looking for a quality nailer that isn't going to fail, that you're not going to spend a bunch of time sorting out why is this thing not doing what it's supposed to do. I've had really good luck with the Grex, and I've updated now and grabbed the 18 gauge also on top of this pinner and getting ready to purchase my third different gauge on these. Quality nailer. We have a good selection of them. Would love to show you what the Grex is all about. Got anything on that, Joel? I know
I don't.
it's a woodworking tool, so you wouldn't be.
I wouldn't know.
Joel does more turning, so him and I banter back and forth about that all the time.
I've got a beautiful saw stop.
You do.
I haven't cut any wood on it because I can't afford the wood, but oh, it's beautiful.
Well, you got power on now.
I
so
got
you
power
can.
on now, and it's the shiniest table saw I've ever seen. Perfect. Sandpaper organizer. These typically go on sale twice a year. And, I've sold a lot to customers, and I finally broke down and got one myself. And once I got it into my kitchen and decided to make the little labels and put on there and put my sandpaper in there, I realized I had more sandpaper than I thought. So basically, in my shop, I have 3 of these. And it is fantastic. It looks well organized. I know exactly which grit to give next. I'm not thumbing through my box full of used sandpaper.
Saves you time.
Saves
right?
me time. It's over there by my lathe and saw stop. And highly recommend this. Dad will love it. So consider that as well.
I find with organizational tools like this too, I'm not coming in and going, now was I out of 80 grit or was I out of 120 grit? Because it's there, like Joel said, they're labeled. It's easy
Hold
to
the
just
drawer.
go, yeah, I'm running a little low on 120 or whatever. Maybe it could double as a food dehydrator with those plastic trays in there.
If you mount a fan underneath there and maybe a little bit of heat, yeah, absolutely.
There's a good idea.
Right there. Boom.
Perfect.
With all my produce from my garden that I spoke of earlier during fire season, yes, you could probably do apple slices in there.
Good.
Perfect.
What do we have left, Joel?
Well, we have these 3 items here that I see. Do you want to talk about the Porter cable, 5-inch hand sander?
So we've all lived through this corona and everything that's gone on, and gosh, you've been in here and we hear it all the time about when will you get this product, when will you not get this product. One of the things that we've tried to do at this store is search out other options, because some of like our Festool sanders and stuff, they could be 3 months to 6 months out before we can even get them. So we're trying to bring in other products, and one of the things John was able to do was come up with 4 of the Porter cable sanders. I have this sander at home. I call it my bench sander. It's the one that gets dropped, abused, kicked around the shop. I've used it enough where I've probably traded the pad out 4 or 5 different times, and yet every time I go to use it, it's still working. These guys make a quality power tool. They make a quality sander, and right now we have them in stock. And I think if you get nothing else out of that, Joel and I will both tell you, if it's got a cord attached to it and you see it right now, with the way the world is as far as supply and demand, you've got to buy it as you see it, because we don't know when we'll get our next ones in.
It's absolutely true.
So.
It's absolutely true. It's not a selling tactic. It is literally true. I've never had to say it before in the years that I've been a salesperson. If you see it, get it, because somebody else will see it right after you, and it's gone, and it could take months.
Or it could have been the guy that looked at it the day before.
That's right. Well, sander, we're going to go into sandpapers. This is a sanding drum kit. I own this. I have this on one of my drill presses. What I use this for is when I'm making knife scales, or knife for gifts. This gives you the contour, the finger grips. It allows you to form and whatever you need to. I've actually also used it when I tried my hand at briar pipes, because it's kind of fun to do some shaping. You can use rasps for that, but I found that this was pretty easy. This spins, and I just add the pressure and the angle, and it does everything that I need. I actually like this kit a lot. It comes with multiple sandpapers and multiple drum units that go onto your drill press. As you tighten it up, it expands and holds the drum sandpaper on there. Go ahead and check it out. You won't be. Dad will love it. I use it. I don't know what else to say about it. It's
No.
it's a good product.
I have one too, and it's not a product we use every day. It's one though that when you need it, it needs to be there. Then the last thing I brought in, Joel, was the shelf pin jigs. I push these a lot here, and the reason being is I really like these Wood River ones. I have a couple of them. There's ways you can stack them in a cabinet shop, times money. And where this would come into place for the average homeowner or that, let's say you've got those kitchen cabinets and you've got one fixed shelf and you want some adjustability. This is a way that you can add adjustable shelves to your existing cabinets at home. We can show you, walk you through how to do that. This jig is straightforward, simple, well made. We support it with the correct bits in that. You can't go wrong if you're looking for a shelf pin jig on this. Comes in both metric and what we normally use as our normal numerical system, fractional here.
If you're doing a larger project, would you recommend getting 2 of them and stacking them?
In my case where we're doing production work, yes. But for the normal homeowner, you're probably not going to need to do that. Gosh, Joel, when I started this cabinet world, we were using pegboard hook. So this makes it really easy. And again, if someone's interested, I can show them how to stack them.
That was back in the 40s, wasn't it?
Yes. On the wagon train.
On the wagon train, got it, Oregon Trail. I have one more product here. This is made by Walnut Hollow. This is a wood burner kit. It comes with 4 burners here, the standard ones that you use. It comes with some tweezers. It comes with a nice grip that these insert into, and it comes with your base unit that you can dial up. I think it goes from 1 to 10. And for those that are getting into wood burning, this is a little bit of a better upgrade than the standard tip that you just plug in, the old school one that they've had for many, many years.
Don't you get more consistent heat this way?
You absolutely do. You absolutely do.
Difference.
It is. This is what a variation of what people who have been doing wood burning for many, many years get into. They have their own base unit, but this is an affordable way to get into that way. And for $72.99 with 4 tips and a dialing motor for it and a comfortable grip, you really can't go wrong for Father's Day with that.
So, well, folks, all seriousness, Joel and I hope we've given you some ideas for Father's Day. We've got a whole store out here. We'd love to show you some more things. We obviously can't cover everything that's in here. But the other thing we want to say, one, Joel, happy Father's Day to you.
Well, thank you, and back to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And to the dads out there and grandfathers, and in some cases in this crazy world, the mothers out there, happy Father's Day, because I know some of you are doing dual duty. And to all our vets, we want to say happy Father's Day to you too if the military's got you away from home right now. So be safe. Come see us at Woodcraft. We appreciate your business, and we would love to do anything we could to help.
I would just like to add, please go on our Facebook page. You're watching this right now, maybe on Facebook, or you're watching it on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is Woodcraft of Spokane. Please subscribe. It helps us know that what we're doing here for you is worth it. Like our Facebook page, where we do these live demos and film them. Anything you want to add to that?
No, what's the most watched demo we have out there, Joel?
Well, we're not going to cover that right now, Steve. We don't have the time to talk about your demos. So we're going to go ahead and sign off. Yes, so thank you so much for tuning in to us, and we appreciate you, and we hope that you appreciate us.
Have a great Saturday, Pete.
Take care.